Let's get right into this review for Is This Thing On? Alright, so this film is directed by Bradley Cooper and stars Will Arnett and Laura Dern as the main leads. This is the second movie Mr. Cooper has directed ever since A Star is Born, which came out back in 2018 as his major directorial debut. And it's safe to say A Star is Born ended up being a wonderful cinematic experience that surprised and surpassed the majority of the audience's expectations. So I was definitely anticipating the next project that Bradley Cooper would be involved in as a director. And now that I watched this film, what did I think about the cinematic package here? I thought this was just an alright time, and unfortunately, I ended up feeling a bit more bummed out by the end of this cinematic package. To talk about the positives first, I think Bradley is onto something with the realistically grounded, flawed characters he creates for these narratives. There's a deeply rooted human element to the major characters involved that feels raw and vulnerable at its core, which is always good for strong screenplay potential. Now, when these pivotal character dynamics work effectively in the film, aspects to the storytelling genuinely became fun to witness as certain segments played out. The problem though is how up and down the effectiveness can fluctuate as the acts get going. Generally speaking, I just found the overall story direction by the middle point of Act 2 onwards to feel lackluster in servicing the character's end journey and goal. Not only that, but I also didn't think many of the side characters involved helped to ever push the main concepts and themes in the right direction or add any real level of weight or impact to this narrative. As a matter of fact, there were some characters that I thought should have been scrapped out entirely, with the runtime being better utilized to focus more on the profound, emotional journey the husband and wife were going through separately on a personal level. Again, I like the spurts of the relationship dynamic I was able to witness between Alex and Tess here when it worked, but I just thought there was too much of a messy tug and pull by the end point of the overall drama, which exhausted me by the time we reached the conclusion. The story also just didn't flow as well as I was expecting it to within this 2-hour and 4-minute runtime. There are also several coincidental moments and transitions in the film that never did impress or engage me to stay interested. Honestly, after Act 1, I just found the cinematic package to be on a slippery slope downwards. Now, as for another positive though, I thought the entire cast did what they could for the screenplay here. And even with the negatives I pointed out, I still found there to be golden sprinkles of moments showcasing high quality story beats. Unfortunately, the overall quality does get muddied up by the end of it all, with there being too many incohesive or C-tier moments that fell flat in comparison to the higher notes in the story, which made this all the more noticeable as an uneven film package. My final score for Is This Thing On is 6 out of 10. This was an okay, one-time watch experience for me. I do think Bradley Cooper is on the right direction with his screenplays, and I'm still excited to see what he cooks up next. Anyways, thanks for checking this review out. I'll have more this week, so stay tuned for that. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I shall see you on my next upload. Until then, stay safe out there, and peace.